RM1, it's 9 o'clock. The news in English with Iris Stewart. Good morning, Iris.
Good morning, Sophie.
The headlines.
Government temporarily reopens door to certain single-use plastics while imposing strict one-year permit system. Reintroduction of points-based driving license marks tougher stand on road discipline amid rising indiscipline. Family Support Service ensures ongoing psychological care for Lucia while urging the public to respect her rights. World AIDS Day reminder with 8,000 Mauritians living with HIV. Health authorities urge early testing and vigilance. Water and electricity consumption surge as heat and festive season set in. CWA and CEB call for responsible use. In world news, fragile ceasefire overshadowed by new toll of 70,000 deaths in Gaza as both sides trade accusations of violations. And in sports news, National Super League thriller ends level as Pamplemousse SC maintain unbeaten run and tight grip on the league lead. It's a relaxation that is hoped to be temporary in the fight against plastic waste. The government is revising its approach regarding single-use products. As from 15 January 2026, non-biodegradable cups, bowls and trays will once again be allowed on supermarket shelves. But this return is strictly controlled. It will last only 1 year and will be subject to conditions. The Minister of Environment, Rajesh Bhagwan, explains that this decision follows extensive consultations with the private sector and small and medium enterprises. To import or use these containers, one will now have to pay as a system of paid permits becomes mandatory. In parallel, the ministry is already working on a new roadmap for the future of plastic in Mauritius. The government is calling time on misbehavior on the roads. The goal now is to make Mauritian drivers more responsible, willingly or by force. A key measure from the latest cabinet meeting, the reintroduction of the points-based driving license. Faced with rising indiscipline, the Road Traffic Amendment Bill will be presented to Parliament tomorrow for implementation as from January 2026. The principle, we recall, had been briefly touched upon in 2013, a points allowance that decreases with every driving offence. But this time, the mechanism is here to stay and to sanction repeat offenders. Ashibachu and Urashi Bikari Banjan tell us more.
This bill covers a total of 33 road traffic offences with a point system ranging from 2 to 10 depending on the severity. The minimum of 2 to 4 points applies, for example, to those who do not wear the helmet correctly when riding a motorcycle, those who ride without high visibility clothing, or drivers who use worn-out tyres. This penalty also applies if a child under the age of 10 is seated in the front seat of a moving vehicle, or if the speed limit is exceeded by 15 to 25 kilometers per hour. Other more serious offences result in 3 to 6 points. These include using mobile phone or handheld microphone while driving, speeding by more than 25 kilometers per hour, or overtaking a vehicle stopped at a pedestrian crossing. Finally, some offences can cost up to 10 points. The most severely punished is participating in an unauthorized street race on a public road. The authorities remind the public that the reintroduction of this point system aims to protect everyone's lives on the road. Every driver is encouraged to remain cautious, follow the highway code, and drive responsibly.
And in other news making headlines, the Ministry of Gender Equality through the Family Support Service confirms that it has been monitoring the case closely since the assault on Lucia was reported. Psychologists have visited the child and regular follow-up will be provided for her and her family. The ministry also calls for restraint, reminding the public that sharing images of the injured child violates her rights as a minor. And in other news, observing World AIDS Day today in Mauritius, about 8,000 people are officially registered with health services as living with HIV. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that symptoms often appear at an advanced stage of infection. According to Dr. Shivani Wooden, officer in charge of the AIDS unit, anyone with the slightest doubt should get tested for rapid and effective care. And finally, the demand for essential resources traditionally increases in December and this year is no exception. The Central Water Authority and the Central Electricity Board are appealing for caution as water and electricity consumption rises with intense summer heat and festive activities. At the CWA, reserves are already under strain. Drought is affecting several regions, and according to Sunil Gopal, the impact is being felt earlier than usual. He notes that climate change has completely disrupted rainfall patterns with an increasingly unpredictable wet season. At the CEB, authorities are also anticipating a spike in electricity use. High temperatures, widespread air conditioning, and increased commercial activity are pushing power plants to operate at full capacity. The CEB, however, says it has implemented a management plan to maintain network stability. Thierry Ramassoumi, communication officer, is also calling for public cooperation. And it's 9:06. You're listening to RM1, where we move to international news. 70,000 people are estimated to have been killed in Palestinian territory since the start of the war on the 7th of October 2023. This new death toll was issued on Sunday by the Hamas Health Ministry. It comes at a critical moment, a month and a half after a ceasefire was implemented under U.S. mediation, a truce that remains fragile as gunfire has not fully stopped on the ground. Israel and Hamas blame one another for the violations. The Gaza ministry claims that 354 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces since the agreement began on 10 October. And finally, in sports, in local football, with the National Super League, the clash of match day 5 produced neither a winner nor a loser. Pamplemousse SC and Cercle de Joachim ended the game with a 1-1 draw. The QPIP side equalised in stoppage time during this thrilling encounter played yesterday afternoon. The Northerners remain unbeaten with 4 wins and 1 draw. They stay top of the league with a 3-point lead over their closest challengers. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned now to the Intermediate Play.